need the link. How do you find the link for your own stream? Oh, there's the YouTube one. That's fun. I'll try to share that one this time just for fun. Elk. YouTube stream, and then Twitch too. So complicated to me. Hello! Happy Friday! Yeah, I thought this would be fun. What's up? Just 2 seconds. Twitch stream. Copy. Publish. And social media works. Blue Sky, probably. Leave it at that. Okay. I'll do it in my little Discord too, because it's fun. Happy Friday indeed. Oh, is my browser window got all weird sized again? Yeah, make it bigger. Almost covering. Too big. Too tall. Almost. Close enough? Cool. I'm going to do this. Feel free to, send me off on tangents in different ways or whatever. But I was working on this, this little dribble design we got because I want to make templates for the new CodePen 2.0 editor, and this one seems cool. Really easy static site that you could make with the technology on CodePen pretty easily, and a reason that you'd want to use it, especially because the 2.0 editor, we're going to have deployment when it launches. So if you want, like Project Editor has now, only it'll be better in a bunch of ways. That you could make a portfolio, and then you could just one click to deploy the thing and have your own URL, and a one-page portfolio would be like a reason to do that, right? So I was like, hey, this one looks pretty nice. Let's try to copy it and give it credit or whatever. But we'll make our own choices and do our own things. And the images here, I'm like, it doesn't say much about what's going on with those 3 images. Are they just cropped just exactly like that? Or would it be a carousel or something? And I'm like, well, whatever. Let's just make a carousel because it's kind of fun timing for that because of this stuff that Chrome dropped. They have this carousel gallery. They're called the CSS carousel gallery because all the interactivity of all this is powered by just some, obviously you have to put the HTML into place, but is powered by CSS. It's just smooth scrolling and scroll animations and a bunch of new stuff. And it has come under some criticism for accessibility reasons, but there was accessibility work put into this. There was, testing done with people that use assistive tech who were excited about it. So I think the story is rather nuanced, and I don't want to get into that. I just want to try it from a technology perspective. So that's what we're doing here. I thought that they have a gallery one, but I think it's one image at a time, which is fun. But I thought the cards one is a little closer to, how you can see multiple cards is a little closer to what we were going for, and it still kind of moves by one. I don't know that we need all this fancy stuff that flies up from the bottom, although I do think that's very cool. I don't even care about the buttons at the bottom. I like the left and right buttons. I just want a bunch of images in a row, and with the left and right buttons, and we'll see if we can steal it. I was trying to look in here to see if we could just steal it from here, but it looks like it's an Astro site, so you can see up there. And like the CSS isn't like it's just, that's not particularly usable. Ooh, quiet audio. Do I have the right mic? Hey, thanks for the heads up, Brian McCoy. In chat, check. I want to say I have no idea what I'm doing, but maybe I have the wrong microphone on. The levels seem okay. I'm gonna look into this because the part of me doing this is like learning device.
It had auto device on, and now I have my proper. I mean, can you see the thing in front of my face? It's like a. Meh. You can't see it on the microphone, but it's it's one of those. It's one of them fancy mics. I don't know what to say. It has the right microphone, so maybe it's just a bummer room or something, or there's some kind of setting that I don't know. It says down mix to mono. That feels like a risky button to check in the middle. Oh, Brian says it's cool now. Maybe my mouth was too far away from it. I don't know. Anyway, looking at this CSS isn't going to help us, but we can just, web inspector this carousel and just steal the stuff we need. I thought we could kind of start there, but I also remembered it's not just this carousel gallery. Actually, the thing I saw first when this came out was the carousel configurator. And the point of that was showing off that like each of these little features that power these carousels are like independent features that have independent use cases depending on what you need. So I thought this was kind of a clever way for them to put it together. It's like, hey, look, it's just a carousel. There's just a bunch of slides. But hey, do you want those left and right buttons? Yeah. Well, that's just a thing, it's the pseudo element scroll button, and there's a left and a right one, and they make these things, and you can position them where you want and style them how you want. That's kind of cool. I think this is just what we want. Like, do we want those things along the bottom too? Sure, we could add them, but it's just more CSS here. I thought we'd start simple. Do we want to lock it down to just 4 at a time? Maybe that's kind of cool. The inert stuff is kind of extra controversial, I think, in the case of how it was handled, accessible. I don't know. Anyway, let's steal this and go to our portfolio site. I'm in the CodePen 2.0 editor here. And where we left off was just like, we had a thing called .images, and we just put a couple of unsplashes as images in there. Maybe let's get rid of that for now, and we'll put our carousel stuff in there instead. And I don't know if 3 slides is going to cut it, so let's make like 12 or something. What is it? Shift Option down now. That's kind of the VS Code way to do it that we are now using. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How much do I care to do this? I know it would bug me if I was watching a stream and they didn't update something like this, so I'm just going to do it. I don't even know if we need data label, but now they're different in some way. Great. But so we can see them along the left of the rendered website here. Not what we want, of course. We want to lay them out in a row and all that. So how are they doing it? They do give us some CSS. So let's steal what they have and see where that gets us. It looks like so little amount of CSS. Let's just do it at the bottom here. It looks like such a little amount of CSS that I don't think they're giving us everything we need. They're trying to showcase the new stuff, I think. But if we just do that, how far do we get? We get not far at all. So what's the problem? One is that they're all on top of each other still. So whatever is making them kind of lay out horizontally, they didn't give us. So let's see, is it just Flexbox or whatever? No, it's display grid, auto flow column. And then the columns have 20 characters that's like how big they are, I guess. And it has a gap. So let's steal all that. Dunk it in here. Merp. Weird copy and paste job. You can always format the file. Cool. Now they're left and right. We don't have these variables, but we could steal their mojo a little bit here. And the gap is 1 rem or something. We can't really see it good because we didn't get any styles there. Let's put a border at least so we can see what's going on. Border, one pick solid gray. Maybe these should have a height so that they feel real. Height 200 pixels or something. We'll see what happens when you use actual images. Okay, so now they're in a row, but I don't actually see these things. So what is the problem? Why don't we see them? Are they off the page a little bit? That's a little unclear. Like, should we see them in some way? Like, let's not use that font that we don't have. Do we see anything at all yet? So each one of these things is, let's say they're really big. I'll make it a little bigger. If they were really big and they had background red, could we see them? They don't appear to be there at all. Is that for a reason? Oh, it's there. Oh, look at there. You can kind of see it in DevTools. Oh, they're just kind of off the page a little bit. Yeah, okay. Well, that's some CSS we could get fancy with. But let's make them, I don't know. Let's not bother with width and height, but let's use, I think this was here because they were using an icon font or something, but the scroll button on the right should point to the right, I guess. We could use an emoji instead, and the back could be like a left arrow. Fine, and then we could move it. So translate. The one on the right needs to come back to the left a little bit to be able to be seen. This is like janky magic number stuff. Oh, it totally worked. Look at it sitting over there. Yeah. But they're weird looking. They have red. And we probably wrote some button CSS that makes their background red for some reason. Oh, and one of them's kind of like, because you can't go to the left anymore, presumably it like has some opacity applied to it, but this one doesn't. Oh yeah, and it's kicking forward. Yeah, that's amazing that you can do this in CSS. That rules. Okay, so, but these buttons will not, oh, we put background red on it. But really we'd want like border 0. I don't know how much work we need to do there, but some apparently. Maybe we'll bring it in even a little bit more. Maybe we ought to kick the font size up a little bit. How visible are those suckers? Oh, there's a little background on it we could pull off. Background none. All right, so we gave ourselves some, it's funny. Yeah, they're just hugging the outside. So 40 is more appropriate, perhaps. And now we got this going on, but it doesn't scroll smoothly. But that to me is like that. Isn't that just a one-liner in CSS? How do they do it? Here's the carousel. Yeah, it's right here. Scroll behavior smooth. Is that all we need, or do we need the snapping stuff too? Did they give us any snapping stuff? Yes, that stuff's already in there. So it's overflow X auto. It just was missing the scroll behavior to make it go smoothly. Yeah? Hey, that's nice. It's funny how far it goes over. I wonder if we could center that or stop that or something. I don't know. I think that's pretty acceptable for now, though. So each one of those slides could be like this image instead. Do we need to put the image inside of a div, or can we get away with not doing that? Can these just be an image? That seems acceptable to me, doesn't it? But we need to just go shopping now for some images, because 2 is not going to cut it for this carousel, I don't think. Oh, that's funny. Look at that. The image is so big that it can explore itself. That's very satisfying. Let's see. Speaking of shopping for images, we just do it in here. Now, it'd be nice to like, I think in the real world where I like had all day to do this, I would really, is I think a fine looking template really just, the images are almost like a cheat code for it. Like if you have 10 beautiful images on a mediocre layout, the images are still going to stand out. Where if you have this like excellent, beautiful, perfectly coded layout, but with crappy images on there, not that useful. But we're just going to rock them like this. Just shopping for images. So how big are we're making them for? Let's just make them all like a more reasonable 800 pixels wide. But we know that they're going to have borked up, and that we're just changing their width just because Unsplash API offers to do that. The CodePen API does too, by the way. If you were to upload your own images, is that one of them? Yeah, and then go like edit, we allow you to change the width of the image too with the same kind of query parameters. But we're just using Unsplash, so we'll just use their bandwidth for now. You know, fair enough. So photos, this just searches Unsplash. So freelance designer, I don't know if freelance is meaningful, but we'll see. Oh yeah, I'm a photographer. Yes, of course. That's what I do in my job for sure. And I drink coffee. Yeah, that's what I do. I want everybody to know it too. And I go to meetings. No, that's too serious. I do this for sure. I'll take freelance off. Just go designer. Need everybody to know how cool I am. What else do designers do? They have impeccable music taste for sure. We'll steal that one. Let's just steal one more. That's me, right? And then anywhere it says width equals 400, if I just select the text I want and then hit Command D, it'll just select more of them, right? Do you know that? Multiple cursors, beautiful. What do we say? They're all going to be 800. And so now this is kind of an interesting moment. The columns are 20 characters wide. I don't know that we need to think in characters. We could. It's like a perfectly nice unit, but maybe they're more like 350 pixels wide. So they're being forced to they're not being forced. The columns are a certain wide, and then the images are just hanging out of that if they need to. So I think we could take, and now this isn't going to apply anymore, right? We need to just say img, img. Hopefully this doesn't cause problems. We could wrap them all in divs if it does. Oh yeah, that's cool. So this one is, the images are, being forced to a certain height here. I think that's good. We wouldn't want mismatched heights, but then that makes their aspect ratios all different. We could force an aspect ratio though. We could just go aspect ratio and do the old 16:9 thing and then let them squish, and then we'll deal with it with the object fit thing like we've been doing, object fit cover. And these images are so, I don't know. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I didn't put a colon. Yeah, right on. So now they're just all the same size. Probably don't need the border. It's actually pretty satisfying the way it is. I'm not in love with like the emoji arrows, but like that's fun. Look at how cheaply we got away from that. I wonder if, like, how lazy are they? Like if we were going to do this for real and ship it, which I do kind of want to make this like a legit template. I don't know that that's enough. Like this is an awful lot of images. I wonder if how do you make them? Does anybody remember how you make them? Is it just loading lazy? I think it might be. So if we select that, what did I do? Oh, I see. They have different quotes on them. Let's make these single quotes so they're selectable. Actually, why don't I format this too? Is it going to format the same? How come it did these like this and these not like that? What's so different about them? Maybe I manually did it? I don't know. Or is Prettier having some kind of problem? This looks like the syntax highlighting is screwed up in some way. What's wrong with the syntax highlighting? Is it just because I didn't do this or something and CodeMirror's being all annoying about it? I don't know. You know what I could do though? I could use a block. I could use the HTML hint. I bet this would find it. It's going to yell at me about HTML stuff. It's one of our linter blocks that you probably don't know by name, or I mean, maybe you do, but that's what. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yes, allow me to fix my crap. Must be in double quotes. Oh my gosh, they must be. I'll self-close them too, just in case that's really what it wants. I'm really back and forth on that. Sometimes I'll like remove the trailing closer just because, but it's still mad about it. Oh, it's like that must be in source. Can't Prettier deal with this? What's the actual problem? Jaw's here. You've got a little red X in the middle. Oh, it's gone now. Yeah, that little red X, Brian, is when the build fails. Oh, here it is. It's this div is opening, not closing. Yeah, and now if I run Prettier, will it? Yeah. Oh, and HTML hint is happy about it too. Okay, that's lovely. What was I doing? I was doing loading equals lazy, right? And I just wanted to select all these empty alts, which we should fill out with information, of course. But I wanted to go then return loading. Oops. Not return, but move the cursor to the end. Oh, now they're not all selected. Gosh, smurf it. Doot, 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 doot. Doot, doot. Cursor at the end. Return loading equals lazy. The point of that being like, look, we can only see 3 of them now. So when this re-renders, is the browser smart enough to do horizontally scrolling don't load them? You know what I mean? So if I refresh this and I scroll really fast to the right, well, we'll be able to watch them load in? No, they were already there. All right. Well, now I'm going to obsess about this for a minute. So if we make a new tab like this, there are still some hidden, right? Even though the screen's super wide. So if we go network, images, how many do we get? There's 9, I guess. And then as we scroll, do we get more? No. So are we learning that loading lazy doesn't work for horizontal scrolling? That's unfortunate. You'd think it would know. Because that should do the trick, shouldn't it? Unless we're missing something here. Does it need like permission to do lazy loading or something? I don't know. It is kind of a bummer though. So if that's truly the case, that it doesn't do horizontal, which is totally a possibility. Then what else would you do? You do like source set. I mean, whatever. It's like a big enough deal. I'd be tempted to like pull in a better lazy loading library almost. Steven, you think it might be the width and the height to make sure that they're actually pushing? Yeah, maybe. Does it tell me? So if I did, this would be like a bunch of work, but I guess that's what we're here for, 800. So wait, what am I looking at here? The rendered size, the intrinsic size is probably the one we care about. So 800 by 533, or maybe we don't care about it. Which one would you put in the width and height attributes? My temptation is always what the image actually is, but none of those seem right because I've asked for this image at 800 pixels wide, and neither of these are. Oh, it is 800 by. What am I crazy? 800 by 533. So I'd put those in here. So I'd go width equals 800, and then height is 5. I remember Jen Simmons telling everybody in the world, you have to put these on here because then the aspect ratio for the image will be correct when it loads in, right? So width and height attributes and loading lazy do go together. Okay, so I could put width equals 800 on all of them. Is that enough for horizontal scrolling? Because that's actually true. I don't know. Okay. And then if we do this thing again, now I'm doing this so much, it's tempting to, maybe we should have a little like, oh, we do. Open live preview. And that's the same, right? In the new CodePen 2.0 editor, there's only one preview. It's this, and it behaves as live view and as like debug view, essentially. So if I hit that, it should just open a new tab with this. Yeah, nice. And it's smart. And oh, look at that. Connected to live preview, listening for updates. How nice. It's almost like we should put a prefix on that of like CodePen is sending you that message. You know, like little angle brackets CodePen or something. All right, so now we'll go to network. And we still got 9 images, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that how many we have in the pen itself? This one, this one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there's 8, and then this my little image at the top makes 9. So it hasn't actually saved anything yet. So maybe height auto, like Steven is saying here. We're just listening. You can make me do anything, and I'll just type it in. Well, the height, we're forcing the height, though. That's how they're all 200 pixels tall. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, you got really wide. Why'd you get so wide, boy? Because we're not setting the width. Wouldn't you think the aspect ratio would prevent the width from being so wide? Why is that doing that? Because you'd think aspect ratio, it's for capping height, but it's for capping width too. Is it so it's width auto is actually what we want, right? Yeah, there we go. Now they're not crazy. Ooh, this might actually work. Did you see they kind of faded? Oh man. We're so close now. Refresh. It's still getting all 9, but it felt to me like they lazy loaded it in for a second. Maybe gotta be narrower. Yeah, see them? They're not loading here. Why are they loading in this environment, not that environment? I don't know. Let's prove this out. Network, images. Can I clear this out? Refresh this. Yeah, you only got 2. And then as we scroll, they come in. Oh, look at that. We totally solved it. I have no idea why it's not behaving like that in this environment, which you'd think would be the one that works, like the one that's not an iframe. Still, let's clear it out. Get all 9. Maybe because it's just so wide or something. I don't even know. Let's do this thing. Maybe I'll test my too wide theory. So look, now it can only fit even 2 of them. Yeah, that kind of worked. It was just too wide. So it was like, man, there's already 6 of 9 being shown. I might as well just grab the last 3 too. Because here you can only see 2, but it's loaded 5. Yeah, it's trying to be smart and load them ahead of time. It's just doing the best it can. So it's just too super wide. Yeah. Brian's saying he's super disappointed in the company behind the Arc browser. That's the browser company of New York. Yeah, same. Although that recent blog post really, really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. It seems like everything that they say misses the mark. But yeah, that one was basically like, we care about AI so much that everything we've ever done that wasn't AI was a mistake. I mean, that's a little exaggeration, but it's kind of what they were saying. Disappointing. Yeah, I'm still in Arc now. I mean, I'd honestly like to see some other company just steal Arc or buy it maybe, but the horse, what is it, horse? No, one of them is like the Firefox version of this that just shamelessly rips off like every feature. I just don't love the Firefox rendering engine and dev tools and stuff, so I haven't switched to that. I'd like to see just on a company that does what Arc is doing, only not dead, and clearly cares about the browser itself. That would be super neat. All right, now what are we going to do? Steven thinks we should apply starting style and see if we can get them to fade in. Yeah, it's Zen, not Horse. What is Horse browser? I don't even remember. Horse browser? That's totally one of them. I just forget what the. Wow. Wow. The Google search results for it don't link. It doesn't have a website. It just has a Twitter, which I'm not going to click. Oh my God. Maybe it's dead. I mean, if Google's not returning a homepage for the browser, that's not a good sign. Okay. Can you fade them in? Maybe. So if each image was like opacity 1 or whatever, but the starting style of it was opacity 0, and then you did like a transition, we might as well transition it all over. Let's make it really long so we can see if it works. Will that do it? Ooh, they faded in there, so I don't see why it wouldn't here. Oh, is it too wide again? If I refresh, shouldn't it? It's like doing the thing where it's just like loading all of them again. Is it the cache problem? So again, network, images, cleared out, refresh. How many images are we getting? Just 3. So as they come in, do they fade in? Not really. They just kind of show up. So they do fade in when the page loads, which is awfully cool just for a couple of lines of code, but it doesn't appear to do it as they come in later. I wonder why. I guess because they're not, like starting style is like, it's not in the DOM and then it all of a sudden becomes in the DOM, whereas these are all, I guess, technically already in the DOM. It's just like their media hasn't loaded in yet. So that'd be cool though. I could see that being a change to that behavior, is like lazy loaded media should adhere to starting style. It's tempting to keep this in. This was just an experiment to see if starting style would apply to lazy loaded media, but it doesn't appear to in Chrome at least. Yeah, they're already in the DOM, so no dice. All right. That's pretty fun. All right. While we're at it, I just have one more thing on my mind. Like, I don't have any other plans for the design now. Obviously, we're going to need to do more to make this like a proper template, but that feels like a pretty decent start. The other thing that was on my mind is the shape stuff. Remember we used the shape generator from Tamani to make our blob at the top, which is just the coolest. I love CSS shape so much. It's the best. Oh, that's interesting. When the shape rotates, he's not using translate to rotate. He's rotating the actual points of the blob. Oh, that's amazing. Is the generators, Tamani has one too. We'll see if we can find it. It's generators. He's got an SVG2. Oh my gosh, there's so many. SVG2 shape generator somewhere. Apparently it's not one of these, but there's more of them because somebody commented on this shape blog post about it. Matthew Morte, right? Managed to get a converter working. Path-to-shape is amazing. So this is the SVG path data, and apparently it's one-to-one enough that it can convert it into a shape value that you could then use for clip path or whatever else in CSS. That is amazing to me. So I just want to try it. This is a totally different situation. But like, where might you get SVG that you might want to use in the shape-like way? I don't know. Noun project, I guess. Let's find one that's like not insanely complicated, but I am a human. I've had a paid noun project account forever. It's Friday, so I don't know. Mug of beer. I'm nervous to try one that has cutouts in it. Can Shape do cutouts? I mean, SVG obviously can. I don't know. I guess let's stretch it a little bit to download SVG. So now you can't see it, but I have an SVG file on my desktop. I will, let's just use CodePen so you can see it. We don't actually need this file, so I'll delete it later, but I'll be like beer.svg. And then if I drag it into there, oh, it's going to want me to upload it. That's funny. I don't disagree with our UX there, but I was trying to do the thing where if you drag a text file into a code mirror editor, it kind of just plops it in there, or a text area. And it's not even a code mirror feature really. But I'm going to open the file in a local editor and I'll paste it in here so you can see it. So we have SVG path data. That's what, lowercase m is like move the pen to these particular coordinates in this coordinate system. And then where's the next command here? Oh, it's a C, which is draw a curve. And then, boy, that's a lot of C action. Jeepers. But did I see an S? Oh my God, my brain is, I'm gonna give myself a headache. But there's M's and C's and S's and there's capitals and not capitals and whatever. Z means finish the shape. That's just how the SVG path data goes, and blows my mind a little bit that there is a way to convert that into that. Oh God, it just works perfectly. Because presumably that's a demo of it with shape applied. Oh, amazing. All right, so let's see what the difference of that actually is. Let's make a new pen to do it. So codepen.io, and if you're in the beta, this will work. I don't need DevTools. I do want my sidebar open. Did it open in minimal view? Does it just automatically do that? Why is minimal view on? I don't remember turning it on, but it's kind of a nice, the minimal view is just this like, there's less stuff. The footer slides away, the sidebar slides away in case you're on a smaller screen. I don't really need it at the moment. It was interesting that it was just on for some reason. Here, I just want to make, let's start in CSS. I just want a div sitting there. So we don't need any JavaScript. I just need a div to mess with. And I'll call it a class name of beer with path. And then we'll make another one. Whoops. So we're going to call this clip path battle. Command option down, beer with shape. So we have two of them. And we'll say that our divs are width 100 pixels and height 100 pixels. So they're about the same. Background red, I'll show them right next to each other here, right? Yes, cool. And then we're going to make them fight a little bit. So if we go overflow, hidden, and then what's the thing to make it resizable? Resize? Is it resize? Good. So that will make a little dingleberry here to do this with, which is fun. So then they had class names, right? So beer with path, if we said that, we have a path. And we got it right from, so if we went clip path, I'm talking about path like that. We have it, did I put it here? Like this data. Well, these numbers are based on this 1200 pixel viewport. That seems unusual for Noun Project. I feel like Noun Project usually works in 100 by 100. I don't know what's going to happen here. I have no idea. If I put that data in there, does it have to be quoted? It probably does. Like, yeah, it's just going to go away. That sucks because of that viewport is like it's too big. And I don't know how to convert these numbers to more like 100 by 100 viewport, at least not simply. Maybe we'll just find a different SVG. I feel like Noun Project is usually 100 by 100. Okay, we're going to do the frothy one. What you got? Muhammad, you better have used 100 by 100. They didn't. It's 1200 by 1200 again. Could I just convert it in Illustrator to 100 by 100 maybe? They're all 1200. Maybe it's some new directive at Noun Project. That's dumb. If I use Illustrator, I can, but I'm not sharing the Illustrator window. So it's going to be like anticlimactic while I do it. And I could just share it quick, the Illustrator window, I guess. Some on-the-fly stream manipulation seems risky. My mic just cut out. I'm still seeing levels. Tell me if it... Oh my gosh, static. That's not good. I'm going to unplug it, plug it back in. Oh, it's back. It's back. Don't touch it. Is it back? One more thumbs up if you can hear me normally. I didn't touch anything. Crap. All right, hopefully it's fine. There's a little delay there. Made me nervous. I'm thinking it's going to be fine. All right, so what do I do in Illustrator even though you can't see it and only I can? Is I make a new viewport that is actually 100 by 100? Maybe. That's what I'm going to try. A 100 by 100. I have an artboard. I'm going to grab my little thing of beer. I'm going to paste it in my little tiny artboard. I know this is, bear with me, I won't be anticlimactic forever. This seems so hacky. There's just got to be a better way. But maybe there just isn't. It's so, in a way, we're just highlighting the point of all this too, is that like this SVG's thing is, it's not scalable good, even though SVG is like naturally scalable. Okay, I got a little tiny mug of beer now. Of course, there's like random ass white space on the outside of it, which is yet another annoying thing. And then if I grab that, how do you export? How do you export SVG out of it? Oh my gosh, isn't there like a assets thing now? Yeah, asset export. And then I'm going to drag it on there and I'm going to pick SVG. Oh my God, I may have done it. Okay. So if I drag that into, that is a huge version of what I just made. At least Arc was nice enough to show it to you. If we look at the actual code for it, what's the view box? It's not 100 by 100 because apparently the asset export wanted to crop it to its outside or whatever, but at least those numbers are within 100 by 100. So this value should at least be usable here. Paste. That's going to like cut out the red. Yeah, look at that. Okay, neat. What if we make the background, so the background's red. We need a border too to see what's that. Border one picks solid red. How big is the thing around it? Oh, why can't you see it? Because I'm clipping it? If you clip, you can't see the border? Boy, that's obnoxious. So you have to, what? Do you have to put a drop shadow on it or something? Box shadow. This is going to be worse, isn't it? It definitely clips box shadows. How do you see this div? How do you see the dimensions of this div? Like, I bet even outline won't work, right? Because the clip path will just clip the outline right off of it. Ooh, drop shadow. There you go. Filter, drop shadow. And isn't the syntax even slightly different? Is that going to work? Please work. Just put a drop shadow around here. Little drop shadow, buddy. Didn't work. It's a valid value for it. So the filter gets clipped off too. So this is just not resizable. But so I can resize it manually. I was just hoping to use the little dingleberry bob at the bottom to resize this one. And I was building up to this whole thing where we can resize that thing. Yeah, and we don't even have a parent. So that's a way we could do it though. We could just wrap Command-Shift-A this in another div. Command-Shift-A div. And I guess we'll give them classes just to be really clear. Beer with path parent and class equals beer with shape parent. Good. So dot beer with path parent, comma, beer with shape parent. Maybe that's the thing that's resizable. Would that be sensible? Then you just get the little widget anyway, and we don't need that stuff. But now the clip path isn't working. Is that because the children now are not sized? No, they should be sized because they're divs. Why does the clip path not apply now? Meh. Clip path doesn't apply to the parent, but it should apply to the child. Neat. But it's all red. That is inscrutable to me. It's resizable, but why? I guess maybe the... It's because the parent is also red, right? We need to take this off and put the background red on the child, right? Yes. Okay. Beautiful. Now we'll do beer with shape, and it has a clip path also, and it's shape. This is the worst demo. And we're not going to use this generator because apparently this generator works fine. And we'll steal the shape that it converted the SVG into. Although, do we paste the right SVG into it? I guess it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter because even these wrong, quote unquote, wrong values that were based on a 1200 viewport were converted, but they're converted into percentages. So it shouldn't matter. Did I close it? Clip path battle. There it is. So we paste shape in instead, and it needs background red also, so we can see it. And it's got a mug of beer, but it's filling the area. It's like it's fatter. So the whole point of this, I guess, is that this doesn't resize. It has no way of resizing. Border, one pick, solid red. These numbers in this path are just pixels, and there's no hope for them. Despite the SVG syntax naturally being very flexible and fine with this kind of thing, you can do that with inline SVG, but as a clip path, the translation of path is useless. That's all we get. But now that we've converted essentially these same numbers into commands with shape, oh, that's funny. Just about to demo it, and now it doesn't work. But it's because the size is wrong. Don't we have to force the child to be the same? Like, we want to put this on the parent, but the children need width 100%. Or could we just go like inset? Will that work? Inset 0? Inset 0? It might need absolute positioning for that. Maybe. Pause abs. You gonna do it? Oh, it's up there because these need to be relative. Pause rel. I don't know. With the 100% widths would have been fine too. Not resizable. Oh, there it is. Boom, resizable. I mean, it's super awkward with beer, but you can imagine how useful it could be. The point is like almost like messing with the aspect ratio sucks, but the fact that it's scalable at all is pretty sweet. Oh, is that a spam? Did we get a spam? I don't see the controls to kill the spam. I need a moderator. I'm gonna move up in the world. Yeah, cool. That is game changing. Just that ability at all. That was a long journey to get there, but that's the good stuff. So what you can do with that is all kinds of stuff. And we used it on this site. Like my little image here with the funky little background on it is using shape. So if all that happened was wherever that CSS was, how fast can we find it? This was, I don't know, much larger, 10.5 rems wide. That shape is going to come along for the ride. That rules. And I mean, I guess it's true of like all the other ones too, like Clippy, the path maker, when you make a polygon as a clip path, those are based on percentage values. So that was already scalable. All these fancy things that clip path polygon can do, as well as circle, as well as ellipse, as well as inset, they're all take percentages, but path, the one that's more capable with fancy curves and craft, couldn't. So shape is just finally addressing that problem, which is just so huge to me. Yeah, Andros says no curves in Polygon. That's the point of shape, is that you can do curves. Although I would point out, where did I read that? I ended up, it's not like I'm like a deep spec reader or anything, but Polygon in CSS spec, there's no way it's gonna link to the actual spec, is it? Maybe if I go here, MDN will link to the spec. There's no way I'm gonna find it, right? Where do they link to it? CSS shapes module 1. Is it in module 1? Polygon. Polygon has round on it, which I found fascinating. So you could, it doesn't actually work though. Like the point of, have you ever seen how round works on inset? I think that is kind of fascinating too. Like if we, instead of this clip path, we did a clip. So what's going to happen? It's just going to go square, right? We'll make it bigger again though. And then instead we used clip path. And then we went inset. If you do nothing, it's like that, but you could just come in pixels. Like if I wanted to come in, what is it, 30 pixels from the top, it would just shave off the top, right? And then you could, if it was like 10 pixels from all the sides, it would just be like that. And now we've trimmed it off in the middle. But you can also, I forget whether you put the keyboard. You just put it here. Oh, how did I break it? Do you have to do it at the beginning? You can just say round. I screwed it. What did I do? Doesn't like it. Is it just not like the round keyword? I swear I did this the other day and it was fine. It just doesn't like did I say pixels wrong? What is wrong with me? Oh my gosh, now the caching is getting in the way. I think I might need to close this. It's getting me all confused again. What's the problem? Round. Do it. Oh my God, it's the old value. Well, there's some caching stuff. That is a problem. Oh, I see. I'm an idiot. Good thing Adam shows up right at the perfect moment. You have to say how rounded you want it to be. Hey, it rounded it now. That's exactly what we want to see. But that rules, actually. I'm glad they have that. But Polygon is interesting too, that it should support that kind of thing. I guess we found it in the spec that you should be able to, you put all these points to make a polygon, and then each one of them could possibly have a round value on it. So you make a stop sign and you want each one of the things in the octagon to like round a little bit. You should be able to do it, but I don't think anybody supports that yet. I tried using it the other day and it didn't work. But that's like almost a simpler alternative to Path sometimes, depending on what you're trying to do. It was the first time I saw Shape when I like messed with like a Squircle or whatever that or no, it was this, right? And I was like, it was this blog post, Tris Mumford, that had this shape. Is that not just begging for polygon with round on it? Like, yes, it'll be cool to do that with Shape, but like that would be easier to express if you ask me with polygon, because polygon is like start at 0, go to this number, which is 90%, or or calc 100 minus 20 pixels, or however you want to express that point is pretty easy to express. And then this is 150%. Like those numbers just can come right out of your head with polygon. And then you just round it a little bit. That's great. That's great, but you can't do it. So Shape for now, and I guess we can push on the polygon syntax being able to do it. That sure would be cool. But yeah, I'm probably gonna call it for now. I guess we did okay explaining the problems with Shape and the benefits or the problems with Path and the benefits of clipping. That's kind of fun. Pretty happy with that. And Adam, sorry you're late, but we were looking at some of the stuff that you worked on and integrated the just a super basic one on this page, which was very satisfying to see there. The smooth scrolling goes a long way. That's the one-liner that was pretty good. So I guess our jobs in the future are finishing off this page in a more interesting way. That would be pretty satisfying. And of course, I have a million other ideas of little crap to play with. Actually, one of them, I'm not going to do it right now because I'm tempted. I have to get back to work here, obviously, is that we played with at scope yesterday. And I actually got this idea from you, Adam, if you're still listening, was the, like, how different is it to have like lots of components on the page that are just using regular CSS? And what if each one of those cards had an inline style element on it? Like each one of these has that. That's what we did yesterday on this little here stream. And there's like kind of like a big chunk of scoped CSS that applies just only to that card. Well, the DOM weight is a lot higher. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was at least double as big, and that there was some kind of a lot of more memory problems with it. But, of course, on this fancy MacBook, the problem wasn't expressing itself that much. But then it occurred to me that these things, which are not particularly super duper supported everywhere, but it was like, what if we did a third one where we did CSS module scripts where we, instead of that made like a little web component for each one of them and then pulled in that same chunk or like the relevant chunk of CSS with this and applied it. Because that's also scoped styles in a way. It's not using at scope. It's using like an actual web component boundary. But I feel like it should be in the running of an interesting way to like have a bunch of scoped style components that don't necessarily dump a bunch of style elements into the DOM. They do it that way. That seems interesting to me and worth doing. So maybe we'll do that on Monday, or maybe not Monday because I'm traveling to Amsterdam for CSS Day, so streaming might take a little pause, but it's kind of fun to think about. So, all right, folks.